Alright, so this video is going to run through the 11.1 parts of the practice test. I will probably not be running through every single question, but will depend on what goes on right now. So with this, starting with number 3, find the circumference of circle P. You are given the arc length of 12 centimeters, the central angle of 85 degrees. So 85 divided by 360 equals 12 divided by circumference, because it's only asking me to find circumference. So with that, cross multiply. 85C equals 12 times 360. Four, three, two, 0, divide by 85. Circumference is approximately 50.82 centimeters because it says round to the nearest hundredth. So, just like number 3, I'm going to set up number 2, and then after I find circumference, I'm going to find the radius. So, 45 divided by 360 equals 1.57 divided by circumference, cross multiply. 45C equals 565.2, divide both sides by 45. So after multiplying this and dividing, circumference is equal to 12.56. If I take this and set this equal to 2 pi r, divide by 2 pi, radius is approximately, so in my calculator, alright, so when you divide 1256 by 2 pi, make sure that you put it in parentheses and get your answer that way. So my radius is approximately 1.9989. Rounding to the nearest hundredth, this becomes 2 feet. Because that 8 makes that 9 become a 0, carry a 1 over, becomes 2. So the next section of homework problems that we have that are, or practice test problems are from 11.1 is from 4 through 9. Based on this circle here, it tells me that this angle and this angle are congruent. Angle ADC is congruent to angle BDC. So 360 minus 101 equals 259 degrees. That gives me the measurement of ACB, because this central angle here is 101, the leftover is this. Since 259 is divided into 2 equal parts, you take 259 divided by 2, and that gives you 129.5 degrees. So the measurement of the arcs degrees is equal to the centrals. ACB is the big arc, which is 259 degrees. Measure of arc CB is that part divided in half, which was the 129.5 degrees. Now, to find arc lengths, the formula is the same setup for both. So you set up 259 over 360 equals the arc length divided by 2 pi r, and the radius in the problem is 24.9. So the way it works out is you cross multiply divide. So 360 x equals, and I just type in my calculator, 259 times 2 times second pi times 24.9 gives you that big number. Make sure you go 4 decimal places if you're going to round before you get done, but just make sure whatever you do, you show. Divide both sides by 360. My arc length is approximately 112.56, and this problem is in meters. Alright, so same thing with number length 7. For number 7, for length of arc CB, you have 129.5 degrees divided by 360 equals x over 2 pi times 249 or 24.9. Or if you notice that this length here is half this length, I would just divide the arc here in half. Whatever you do when you multiply it, you either divide 112.56 by 2 or take this and do the same multiplication. You get 56.28 meters. So the next ones that we have, measurement of arc ABC and the length of BAC. These two lengths of arcs are the same because measurement of ABC is 101 plus the 129.5. Measurement of BAC is 101 plus 129.5. So 129.5 plus 101 equals out to be 230.5. So using 230.5 degrees, find length of BAC. 230.5 degrees over 360 equals x over 2 pi times 24.9 is roughly 156.4513, and you can approximate out that if you would like. Instead of using the 2 pi times 24.9 up above, just use 4 decimal places when you do your calculations. When you do this, the measurement comes out to be approximately 100.17 degrees. That covers 11.1 there. On the second page, the 4 questions that deal with 11.1 is 14, 16, 17, and 18. In order to do 14, you have to find the radius. So I'm going to do this twice. I'm going to do it in this problem here, and then I'll do it again in 11.2 section. But it tells me in the original problem that 295.52 square inches equals the radius, or equals the area of the total circle. So pi r squared equals 295.52 divided by pi, radius squared equals 94.0669, and take the square root of that. Radius is approximately 9.70 with rounding. So since that's my radius, circumference equals 2 pi times r. Circumference equals 2 pi times 9.70. You get approximately 60.95 inches. So from there, to find the length, now that I know my circumference, the length of PQ, I don't know the arc measure. I have to do that for number 15 first. So in order to do the arc length here, I have to work backwards, and just quickly doing that, the arc measurement of PQ is 67 degrees, is the measurement of arc PQ. That measurement, because you have to do number 15 before you do 16, which will be found in the 11.2 video, you divide by 360, which equals x over 60.95. When you do that cross multiplication and divide, the length comes out to approximately 11.34 inches. Now, the part that you have to understand about perimeters is perimeter's shaded region is just the pi. So this length here is 11.34. This is 9.7, 9.7. You add up all those three values. The unshaded region is like Pac-Man. This length here would be 60.95 minus 11.34. And both these links here are 9.70. So you have 2 times 9.70 plus this value. That would equal the answer to 18, and 2.92 times 9.7 plus 11.34 will give you this measurement. So this is roughly 30.74 inches. And this information here is roughly 69.01. So that's pretty much the ideas from 11.1 is you need to know circumference is equal to 2 pi r or pi times diameter. You need to know exact means to leave it in terms of pi. You don't leave an answer. And then you have your arc degree over 360 equals your arc length over 2 pi r. That's your formulas from 11.1.